All right, everybody, I guess that's good enough. Let's go. Let's start off with the obvious today. First of all, we had that stock Avis go from below 100 to 415. They keep crashing it down and rallying it back. People, these are shorts on top of shorts. There's no longs in the middle in here. The longs all sold out their position. No one is chasing the stock up here. If you are a long, good luck for not selling it. Go ask the GameStop people, AMC people, who didn't sell into the squeezes, and to stay around it's a tough thing when no one's even talking about it. All right, so let's move on to the next one, BIRD. I spoke about this stock last week. It was a $10 billion IPO, and now it's turned into a AI company with a $50 million convertible debenture by some institutional fund or whatever it may be. So this is how it works. They signed the deal. They're going to get into AI. They got the money lined up, $50 million. Even though AI is taking people billions, they got 50 million. They announce it. The stock goes up. The institution that signs the debenture, they short into the rally. Now, if there was stock settlement, that fund would not be able to sell it. Let's say they sold it at 10. If they sold it short at 10, believe me, those guys shit their pants because they can't believe they sold it at 10. They're probably going to buy it back at 2. But if if they had to stay short and have to deliver it, they could be bought in tomorrow. So the only reason that funding works is because there is no stock settlement. So these guys could be short no matter what the stock does. They sold it, they raised the money, and now what do? They buy the debenture from the company. They give them the $50 million. If they sold $200 million worth of stock, they make $150 million. That institutional investor that is naked shorted this BIRD. That's how it works. Everyone on this phone, wouldn't you like to do that? Sign a piece of paper. The stock goes crazy. You sell it whatever number you want to pick. Sometimes they go to 5. Sometimes they go to 500. So these guys probably sold it. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They sold it at 10. And the company has to give them the right to shares at 2. They make $8. Let's say they did it 50 million times. I don't know how many times they did it. Whatever equates to $50 million, 10 million shares, whatever. But if they had to deliver it tomorrow, they couldn't short it. And those trades wouldn't exist. And the hedge fund, like the investors, would have to put up his money and assume risk. There's no risk in that trade. And that's why Lynn Partners, it's called a debt spiral, because they're hedging. Hudson Bay shorted against the warrants. The only reason they're short is because they don't deliver. The street allows them never to deliver the stock, so they've been short for months. When it ran to 550, that's how long these guys have been short this stock. Months. There's no borrow. They're short a couple of million shares. There's only 1 million shares short. That's not them. And that was there before they got involved. So again, naked short selling allows many types of fraud, whether it's funding or just manipulation, you name it. If they settle the trades, all that goes away. All these middlemen that exist from Hudson Bay, Lynn Partners, Hal Mintz, Yorkville, whoever this guy is, 11 months they've been short that Finger Motion, Hudson Bay. 11 months. That's Wall Street for you. Imagine being able to play in a casino for 11 months, losing every day, and then one day you're going to win, right? One day. The promise you're going to win. And the casino will let you be down hundreds of millions of dollars, but one day you're going to win. Nobody takes that trade. No one does that. But Wall Street allows it, and these criminals take advantage of it, and the president and everybody else allows it to happen. I post about DJT. He was making noise about naked short selling in the stock in 2024, wants investigations. Devin Nunes, nothing. The White House keeps putting out everything Trump is doing great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not part of all this political nonsense. but they never address the naked short selling. All these politicians say the same nonsense. Everybody's concerned what a great job Nick Shirley's doing in California. He's doing a great job. I got no gripes with the kid. But I don't live in California. I don't give a flying fuck if they've been stealing there. I could care less. Everybody invests in the stock market, and everyone's being robbed. But for some reason, they want everybody to cheer on Nick Shirley, whether it's Trump or Elon, whoever put him up to this stuff. All right? He's making the Republicans look great, which is okay with me. I don't care. But it seems too obvious that they just skip over the Wall Street fraud and just go into this stuff full boat. Medicaid, hospice, every day there's a new fraud. No one knew anything about this. Not one politician knew anything about this fraud, any of it, for so long. Now they want it all exposed in a week. That's the job of the federal government, to expose those frauds. That means there's no one doing anything in states, government, nowhere. But now they want to clean it all up. Meanwhile, naked shorts has been going on since 1988. The cover of Forbes, I showed it to them. United Airlines 2002, Pat Byrne, all these companies. Every day you could see it yourself. And just like that guy Pulte said, that guy who's in the home, he works in the Trump organization now. He said that the losses on the short side are infinite. All right? That is 100% true. And just think about it, this BIRD. Imagine shorting it. It opened at 280. It went to 5 real fast, and then it popped to 10. And I just want to tell people again, you have to be a bird brain to go chase names like this. If you believe Bird is going to squeeze, or Car, or whatever stock it is, you need to buy it before it moves. It's very dangerous when you start chasing, because the shorts then need volatility. Volatility is how they get you to sell. And CAR is a classic case of it. It ran to 415. This morning they dropped it to 335. It's rallied back up to 372. Think about that. It went from 415 to 335, back up. You're talking a 70 move down, 30, 40 points back up. That's volatility. They want to shake the tree until everyone's out. They're looking for sellers. That's how you do it. Now let's go back to finger motion. It spiked to $1.09, whoop-de-doo. The shorts need volatility. They try to push it below $1 again because they want people to give up on it. It's not going anywhere. You're being jerked off. That's what they're saying. You're supposed to be buying it now. I can't say it's stronger. I believed in it at $1.50, $2, $1, 99 cents. It's getting cheaper and better for everybody all the time. I put a picture of Finger Motion to getting the space business. I just put a picture of a rocket. They got the same thing. Just say anything. No one gives a shit. The SEC doesn't care what anybody does. Just go out and say anything. Do anything. List on the Korean exchange. Do a token. Do anything. But companies that are real take time to do stuff. The shorts, as you can see, hit sell buttons. If these bozos are trying to push it below $1, you know what? One gentleman today called me up. If the shorts have unlimited amounts of stock for sale, how can you win? And my answer to that is, if they had unlimited stock for sale forever, why would they let the stock go higher? Why would not sell it at 5, 7, 10, 20, whatever? Why are they pushing it down? Because they cannot meet the margin. They can sell stock, but once it goes up, their margin call is going to get them. At any given time, someone needs delivery. That can get them. Anytime the president or anybody in Congress speaks about naked short selling or the SEC, that kills them. There's many ways to die here for the shorts. And when Finger Motion went down from 5 to below $1, why didn't they cover any of it? They didn't do any of it. I have a friend that bought over 1 million shares in the last month. These guys never cover. You see them covering in Bird now, or you see them covering CAR. That's where you see them doing it now. But you don't see them doing it anywhere else. GameStop, there's a big short supposedly by all the longs selling there. It goes up 25 cents a day. It's not like it used to be when it ran up 10 points at a clip, right? When the shorts were covering. DJT doing a slow march back up after making a low of 831. It's up $2. Big deal. Another big deal. AMC, I don't know. I don't know what he's done there. I couldn't tell you. But it bounced off $1. It went below $1, went to 93 cents. It's $1.57 now. So there's opportunities for people that are picking the bottom to make money. All right? Not everyone buys the bottom. My first purchase in Finger was $287 in 2018. The company's 100 times better and the stock's 100 times lower. How is that possible? All right, so if you're playing the game, if your friends want to play the game, you got to get in now before it goes. All right, you saw this morning how quickly it can turn. It just jumped quickly from 85 cents the other day to $1.09. I know it's not $89 to $109, but that's really equivalent to what it did. That's how big a move it made. I'm not here for that. You could be here for that. But I doubt people are buying it up to 109. And it didn't even trade it very small, and they were pushing it right back down real quick. So you can't tell me you bought it at 89, sold it at $1.09, you're buying it back at $1. There's no room for that. You can't do it. There's not enough activity to do that. But if you wind up chasing it, and let's say the stock starts to rip and you pay $6 for it, and then it drops to $3, don't dare tell us that you bought it and you're getting upside down in it now. Because a lot of people who do own the stock are caught in those runs from before, and they don't know everybody. But when you buy it smart, anywhere below $1.50, the risk reward it's lights out in your favor. Don't get me wrong; the people that pay $2.50, $3 or $5 or $6 or $7 still have the opportunity. All right, but they got to get back they got to make up a lot of ground first. All right, before they get their opportunity. But the opportunity to make a lot of money is right now. Imagine if you had bought 100,000 shares today of Finger at $1, and tomorrow the news comes out and it runs to 24. You're making $2 million on 100,000. This is not something we talk lightly about. We've been talking to the SEC. We've been posting to the SEC. We put a truck in front of the SEC 23 times. We post to the SEC 2,300 times a day to the president, everybody in Senate, everyone about finger motion. We let them know if there wasn't a problem, they would have shut us down. Their silence is telling you your opportunities now. The SEC is allowing people to get rich once you break the short squeeze, once you start breaking the shorts. They don't even care. You're telling me BIRD traded 248 million shares. It trades 100,000 a day. Now it's 240 million, 250 million. Look at, like I said, like Budget, Avis. What did it trade today? 5 million. Its average is 1 million. That's taken into account the last 10 days of the squeeze. 5 million shares at $400 a piece. That's a lot of money trading back and forth every day, right? And just remember, when those stocks squeeze at these levels, longs aren't buying it. These are shorts trying to cover. The easy money has been made in those names. Now it becomes dangerous. Finger motion is giving you the opportunity to grab. I understand it. We all don't have a lot of money. I got it. I wish I had more money. I do not have it. This is the time to do it. I'm telling you, as a trader, as an investor, the risk, the company has made an acquisition. The company's doing everything they can to fight back, and the government is trapped here. You can say what you like. They're not going to do anything. There are things happening 100% behind the scenes. This is not going to end very well for the shorts. Their names are going to be exposed. They're going to get exposed in the shorts. People are not going to go to jail for them. Prime brokers, they're going to give them up. That's what's going to happen. I can't tell you what day it's going to happen. I've been doing this a long time. But what started in 2000 is 100 times worse now. It's 100 times more obvious now than before. BIRD signed a convertible debenture yesterday or 2 days ago, and today that guy, whoever that fund was, is dying laughing. They sold $50 million worth of stock short. They have the right to buy $50 million worth of stock from the company. I don't know what the price is going to be. We'll find out later. And just they sold it at 10, buy it back at 2. They made $8. Let's say 10 million times. They made $80 million today for $50 million and gave the company $50 million. And that's squeezing the shorts. So the whole company was funded by a short squeeze. Hey, GameStop did the same thing. What did I tell you before? The best business on the street is squeezing a short. I didn't lie. I told you the truth. It's right there. People made millions and millions of dollars off of GameStop. Michael Burry made it. The CEO of the company now, what's his name, Cohen, they were all in on it. All right? How do you get them to get behind our stocks? They come when they come. I can't tell you what the big boys do. They have their own little group of people that they deal with. You know, they don't like to get caught talking in circles and say, hey, we're going to go squeeze this stock. You know, if Ryan Cohen is talking to Michael Burry, believe me, that's a personal meeting and say, hey, we're going to attack him on Tuesday. That's how it works. They don't talk about it on the phone. They don't write it in an email. So, again, I'm just using it as an example. All right? I talked about GDC, 230 million plus shares short. How are they going to cover it? They can't cover it. Bitcoin is what got them trapped. Bitcoin, no matter what you say, is $74,000 times 7,500 coins. It's a math number, 550 million, whatever it is, 560 million. The market cap of the company is 200 million. You got a big difference from 560 to 200. That spread has to close up. It has to go up. If that number, the stock doesn't have to come down. The stock has to go up to meet the cash value, the equivalent of the company. Again, GDC, it's not my biggest position. I just love the stock because everything you want to know is right on the tape. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's no rumors. It's right there. We own 7,500 Bitcoin. We're going to sell the Bitcoin and buy back $100 million worth of stock. It's right there. It's all on the tape. The reason the stock got pushed down and now back up and I stood tall through the whole thing is they're trying to get you to sell. It's so strange. That same pattern happened in Finger Motion. Push it down, break a dollar, make people panic out. It's the same pattern. The same thing happened in AMC. It broke a dollar. I heard all the AMC people whining. Now it's $1.57. It's not back where you want it to be, but they pushed it below $1 so that you would sell. You see the pattern, how they do it? I would do the same thing. I would torture you to death if I was this short. I'd be pushing it down, spoofing, washing, you name it. I need you to sell because I need to cover the lock in my profits. That's the game. And the only thing that's protecting these guys is the government not forcing stock settlement. The minute they force stock settlement, these people get vaporized. And they all go to jail. That's what, and I'm getting into, hold on a second. I'm reading something else in the future. I'm going to go down to Palm Beach. I'm waiting for the invite. I got pictures of our short sellers. I got their telephone numbers on the back of it. I went to the printer already. I'll hand them out. Here's a counterfeiter, Secret Service, FBI. Everybody's there. Here you go. You don't even have, just go to Madison Avenue. Pick them up. Go to Connecticut. They're standing right there. Get their cell tickets, their phone records, the brokers they deal with, and you can check out every deal they ever did. I guarantee they did the same thing everywhere. Naked short versus any debenture they have, whether it's a warrant or a debenture. It's not, you just can't sell stock you don't have. You got to borrow it. There's no borrowing. You can see it. There's no borrowing the stock. Same thing in GDC. If they're short 200 million shares, How come there's only 100,000 real shorts? They didn't borrow a share. Playing out naked shorting. NRGV, I think the real short is 16 million. The naked short is probably 700 million. Each day the stock trades 3 million in the same goddamn spot. How's that possible? Every long bought it this morning and sold it in the same exact spot, up and down 5 cents. No one does that. You may do it once. You're not doing it 20 times in a row. These guys are washing stock back and forth so they can buy more settlement time. That's what the volume is. The SEC wants liquidity. They're giving you fake liquidity. The fake liquidity throws off every piece of data you need to know about trading. Every piece of data. BIRD, it's impossible for a company of this size to trade 250 million shares today. Impossible. So there's a point. That the SEC's allowed liquidity. They don't allow liquidity in Berkshire Hathaway Class A. That's a shit sure. Let's see what that's doing today. 715,000 per share. It's traded 139 shares. No liquidity, no options. Finger Motion is a $1 stock. $1. It has options. Why? The stock is an option at $1. You don't even have to buy an option anymore. Just go buy the stock. Unless you got the inside scoop that it's going to do a bird in one day, then you buy the fuck out of the 3s and the 2s at a nickel. You buy all you can until you choke on them. Because when the stock goes to 20, you make $17 or $18 1,000 times. That's how you make $18 million real quick. You roast them alive. Of course, the SEC will come after you, but that's a different story. But you don't care. Go get a good lawyer at that point. All right. So again, you understand the GDC. I posted about it. I talked about the NRGV. We talked about that. We talked about Bird. We talked about HLP. I have no idea what this volume is, but the stock yesterday closed at $1.02, and it's at $1 now. We were at 85 cents. It's slowly moving up. Whatever's going on is over my head, and I'm just here for the ride. I paid $1.05 for it. So I'm not selling it. I really don't even look at it, to tell you the truth. Everyone texts me the volume, and I have no idea what it means, but we'll see what happens shortly. Obviously, we heard there was 26 million shares naked short, no real short to speak of, and we see all the washing back and forth. Who's doing it, why they're doing it? The only reason you wash a trade is to buy more settlement time. I'm sure their longs aren't moving stock back and forth and not having it go anywhere, doing it for fun. It's always on the dark side or the short side doing it. There's no reason for a long to move a stock back and forth all day. All right, so again on that. GDC, it's got to be explosive soon. We talked about that. NRGV, I don't know what they're holding it down for. You can see Wolf went to 20, and the company raised a ton of money at $20, whatever it was. The first thing that happens today, everybody sells it down. Hurry, the company raised money. Sell your whole position. The company raised money. Hallelujah, the company raised money. Who sells all the stock? If the company just raised money, that's a positive thing. Why is it a negative? I don't really understand it. It traded 46 million shares today. Or is it the people that put the money up are just dumping it? Now, I don't know the terms of their deal. Are there any warrants attached to it? Because it has the same look as Finger Motion or NRGV, where they dump the stock as fast as they can, don't give a shit about it, and there's some sort of bonus attached to it. That's the only thing that makes sense in Wolf or NRGV, or they did like a Finger Motion. These guys demand warrant coverage because they're so wonderful. They shorted the stock and then they're giving the company own money, but we want more benefits for ourselves. And it all stems, again, naked shorting, selling stock and not delivering. 90% of the fraud on Wall Street all comes from naked short selling, not settling the trades. Eliminate that, and you eliminate all these hedge funds. You eliminate the day trading, naked short selling guys coming on top of the stock. You got to remember, you get 50 guys in a day trading firm, I can stand up with a sign and say, hey, let's attack NRGV today. Everybody starts whacking it. Hold on a second. There's a helicopter passing over my head. Hold on. As they say, I got a ghetto bird above my head right now. So again, these guys are, again, it's all about naked short selling. I can't stress it again, and I don't care if the SEC is listening. The company, FNGR, is doing all they can. We will have the truck. I will be at Mar-a-Lago, and we got that group that's going to come in shortly. All the signs are pointing to us getting an explosive move here. You saw the pop to $1.09 today. There's people starting to grab it up. I told you before, never chase, except when they offer it lower. Pick them off. Pick them off. I don't care if it's for one share. When they offer it lower, pick them off. They don't want to sell it down. If they wanted to sell it down, or they had more debentures, the stock would have been 20 cents. There's nothing here. All that money was raised already. It's beyond us. The only person that is here is Hudson Bay, short 2 or 3 million shares against their $1.50 warrant. And then you got Lynn Partner and their friends in Australia. I don't know where they're hiding the short position, but it started with Benchmark. I'm sure Benchmark has the same pattern, just like Canaccord. They all do the same thing. You go to them, we need to raise money. And what does Benchmark do? They start shorting it, tell their hedge funds to short it, get Lynn Partners to hammer them to give them the money, and that's how it works. And they stay short, manipulate it, and that's how it goes on. They get an Andrew Left to come out here, write a negative story, or a Hindenburg. And I just posted today about Andrew Left. Andrew Left, remember, was Citron. Citron was banging small penny stocks. Like he would go after finger motion after it got beaten up. That's the type of guy he is. But he must have went after Barry Koning, whatever his name is. He was involved in Riot blockchain back in the day. The stock was getting squeezed up to 50. CNBC came out with their investigation. CNBC into Barry Koning, like he was doing something wrong. Andrew Left came out and said short the stock. And now Barry is suing Andrew Left for naked short selling and manipulation in some other company that he owned. Barry was not charged in Riot. So if you said to me, what does it look like? It looks like Barry's getting back at Andrew now, just before his trial. So his payback's a bitch, and that goes back to Riot blockchain. I posted the stories. You could see it. Andrew Left was piling on it. Then he called CNBC up at the time, probably tells him it's a scam. I know this guy, Barry. He lives in Fort Lauderdale. I live in Boca Raton. Everybody knows he's a scam. And now Barry's got him by the balls because guess what? Andrew Left is going in front of a jury soon, and he's got a huge problem. And Barry was released from his obligation in Riot. There was no charges. So that's an interesting thing. And payback's a bitch. All these people that attacked public companies and shareholders that own it legally have to be treated like criminals. Don't get me wrong. There's bad people out here on the long side. Don't get me wrong. But that guy they had a short squeeze going on in Riot a long time ago. Andrew Left put the fire out on it, called CNBC. CNBC listened to Andrew Left. They attacked him, and there was no charges. The stock went back down. They crashed it back down, always down to $4, I think it went down to. So they cost this guy all types of money. Well, now Andrew Left is going to have all types of headaches because he's going in front of a jury, and now anybody, the prosecutor, can bring up Andrew Left's latest lawsuit of manipulation. All right, so again, the walls are crashing down. We when you work on the street, you memorize all these little things. You guys don't realize it, but we memorize all these little things. And I remembered Riot. I didn't remember Andrew Left say anything about it. I Googled it. Andrew Left said, sell it short. There you go. My friend just told me HLP at $1.15, it squeezes. So $1.15 is the number in HLP. So there's the answer on that one. All right. So again, finger motion, you have to be all over it. If you have a friend, I don't care if they buy one share. You got to be in it to win it. And when it goes, you'll be thrilled when it goes. I've been saying it for a long time. I've called out the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI, Dan Bundy, you name it. They all ran away, and I'm still standing here. Obviously, there's a problem. They don't know what to do. Did Lynn Partners and his crew of people walk away from the trade? They call it DK in it. There's no one here. They don't know what to do about it. But again, if I was a short seller, if you were the short seller, you would bash the shit out of the stock, spoofing, you name it, to try to get you to sell. The attack below $1 is the same attack you saw on GameStop. Excuse me, on AMC below $1, bounce right back up. The same attack you saw, like example like Bird. They killed this thing all the way down. This was a $10 billion IPO, BIRD. It was a sneaker company. I was talking about it the other day. It was $10 billion brought out by Morgan Stanley. Bankruptcy, their shell becomes whatever this thing is now, and now it's an AI company. AI. How many billions you need to be in AI? They're doing it with a $50 million debenture. If I had all the money, I would be shorting the shit out of this thing. But again, you can't do it because you don't know how many people are short this thing. There's 200 million shares short. It could squeeze to 100 before it finally peters out. Look at SMX. Same pattern. It went to 500. It took a long time for it to crash down to 5. And it's still hanging around. SMX, a piece of trash, went to 500. It's still $5. It's probably worth 50 cents. Now, I don't know if they raise money on that squeeze, whatever they do. All right, but this is how the game works. Finger motion, I can't stress it enough. You should be all over it. HLP, I told you, $1.15. I have no idea with the stock going back and forth, what's going on there. GDC, it's off to the races. NRGV, it's going to take time. It's just going to be just like Wolf. They raised the money, and it's so funny. Wolf is now going to be on CNBC. At 80 cents, I was the only jerk off talking about it. Now they're on TV. They're raising money. It's a great company. They didn't do anything different. They make power from nuclear power plants. They do Bitcoin mining. And now it's the love of Wall Street. CNBC is going to interview them on TV today. NRGV will be doing the same thing in 6 months. When it's $20, $25, they'll be doing the same thing. Once it breaks away from this little fraud range that we're in right now. Remember, the insider paid $365. Remember all these little data points. I'm only repeating it so you remember it. All right? And remember, DJT, Donald Trump, Devin Nunes, there's plenty of highlights of them yelling about naked short selling, and they all went dark. I can't believe they all just forgot about it. The stock is only down from the heavens down to $10. Everyone got wiped out. And then they yelled about it and never said anything else. Why? Were they told to shut up? Or did they say this is a massive problem? I don't know. Obviously, there's a massive problem. They never address it at all. I attack every politician possible, and not one of them even slips up and says a word about it. That's impossible to get done. Again, I'll leave it with this. Finger motion, we're getting close. I understand the price. I can't stop the manipulation. I just can't do it. But at some point, the manipulation, they can't even manipulate it down anymore. They tried to manipulate it yesterday on the close from 94 to 91. If that doesn't show you the same jerk-off moves they were doing before, nothing will. Today, you got to 109. What do they do? Move it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Just to get it to below $1. What's the big fucking deal? This stock is $1. What's the big deal? Obviously, margin. Margin and momentum. Momentum will wipe them out, and that brings in people that they don't want buying the stock. Again, if the stock was 15, I'd be nervous about it. We're down here, there's no risk anymore. The company's not going away. The company may go out of business in 10 years from now. 10 years. Most of us will be dead. You tell me you're going to stay short forever? It's not worth it. Number one, the guy borrowing 1 million shares has to pay a fee to borrow the shares. He's not borrowing shares for free. He has to pay. Even if it's a penny a month. All right, that's 12 cents a year. If he shorted $1.20, take away 12 cents, let's say 108 is the most he can make. The stock is $1. The most he can make if the stock goes to zero in 10 years he's going to make $1.08. By that time, the cost to borrow will wipe out any possibility of making a penny. So he's risking making no money, but losing infinite on the upside. Do you know how stupid that trade is? Nobody on the street would allow that. Stevie Cohen would take you and throw you out of a window before he let you put on a trade like that. If there's no reward and it's all risk, you never do it. The only reason people are doing that trade because it's fraud. No one else would allow it. Nobody. No trading desk. So whoever's doing it, it's a fraudulent trade, whether it's done by some guy in Spain or Australia with that guy Hancock in Australia, Lynn's partner, who's up 220%. Those are the type of people that only be around finger motion. Some other guy who's short GameStop is not going to say, oh, let me go short finger motion. Not down here. You could short it when it gets to 20, 30, or 40, but not down here. It doesn't make any sense. The only people who are here are someone with a debenture or someone short against the warrants. That's it. No one else even belongs here. But again, your opportunity is now before it runs. Because when it runs, that's when you get picked off. That's where you go upside down. If it runs to 2 and drops to $1.10 in a second, you're going to be screaming, I'm down 90 cents. I bought 10,000 shares. I'm down 5,000. What am I going to do? You're a fool. You got to buy it. If you're going to do it, you got to do it when nothing's going on. Do not run into that. You run into that meat grinder, they'll chop you up. Because most people aren't smart enough to get out of it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to the moon. So, but again, there's people here that buy and look to make some quick money and get chopped apart all the time. If you want to buy it, you got to buy it when it's standing still doing nothing. It's still 60, 70 cents below where it should be right now. All right. The only reason it's below $1.50 is because Hudson Bay is shorting it and trying to manipulate it down so they can cover. They don't want to pay the company for the warrants. They want to just keep buying it down here, sell it when it runs back up. Buy the dip, sell the rip, and use the warrant as their coverage. But in the meantime, they're using non-settlement as the only reason to have this opportunity. We can all do it. I wish I could do it. We could just steal all day long. I could do this all day long. All right, so again, GDC, just do the math. NRGV is just like Wolf, exactly like Wolf. Look for it on CNBC in 6 months from now. That same idiot that called that's doing the interview on Wolf will do it on NRGV later on also. When it's a $20 stock, and CNBC will give him credit to do it. Or maybe Charlie Payne will take his head out of his ass and he'll do it. Because it's a good company. You read the news yourself, you can see it. All right, everybody, listen, there's not much more I could say. I'm running to New York. I may have a drink or sit down with Christian Shaughnessy. She's in New York today. And I'm going to run in there and have dinner with somebody. But hopefully I can meet up with her and have a drink with her tonight. Everyone, have a great day. Like I said, don't wait on it. I can't stress it anymore. All right, everybody, have a great day.